Modern life looks advanced, but it hides a fragile truth. The world depends on a few narrow routes, and when one comes under pressure, prices rise, supply chains strain, and economies shake. Welcome to the Strait of Hormuz, one of the most important choke points on Earth and proof that geography still controls modern power. Here is the contrast from the start. Leaders make mistakes, markets react, and history repeats. One political miscalculation can trigger a crisis, but the deeper lesson is older than any one headline. When a narrow passage controls energy flow, that passage can shake the world. And here is the promise. By the end, you will see why this small strip of water matters so much, why backup plans remain limited, and why ordinary people end up paying for instability they never created. If you are serious, do not just watch. Follow not to miss the new videos. Drop a comment as we go. Do not skip. The Strait of Hormuz is only about 21 miles wide at its narrowest point, yet it connects the oil-rich Persian Gulf to the open ocean. On a map, it looks small. In reality, it is one of the pressure valves of the global economy. Roughly 1/5 of the world's oil and a major share of global liquefied natural gas trade normally moves through this corridor. That means industry, transport, electricity, fertilizers, and trade all depend on one narrow maritime gate. Slow that artery, and the whole system feels it. Most people notice an energy crisis at the gas station, but it starts earlier. It begins in shipping lanes, insurance markets, naval threats, and political escalation. By the time the public sees higher prices, the shock has already spread through the system. After military escalation in the region, commercial ships have faced growing danger from drone and missile threats. And when risk rises in Hormuz, the world does not wait. Insurers pull back, shippers reroute, and traders react immediately. That is why even fear of disruption can move markets fast. Fewer tankers, higher insurance costs, and reduced confidence quickly turn a regional conflict into a global inflation and trade shock. Oil prices can surge sharply in these moments, and that pressure does not stay in energy markets. It spreads into transport, manufacturing, aviation, food, and household budgets. Oil is not just fuel. It sits behind the cost of almost everything that moves. Emergency reserves can buy time, but they are only a bridge, not a cure. They may calm markets for a while, but they cannot replace open trade routes forever. Major shipping firms may reroute around the southern tip of Africa, but that detour adds time, fuel cost, port congestion, and delivery delays. What looks like a route change on paper becomes serious disorder across supply chains. Are there backup options? Some, but they are limited. Saudi Arabia can move more crude through inland pipelines to the Red Sea port of Yanbu. That helps, but only partially. Those pipelines can carry only a fraction of the lost volume, and for liquefied natural gas exporters, there are almost no practical alternatives. Geography still sets the limits. This is why history repeats. Technology may speed up trade, but it does not erase the map. The world still bends around straits, canals, ports, and pipelines. Progress changes the system, but not the choke points inside it. The impact also goes beyond fuel. Fertilizers and petrochemical inputs move through the wider Gulf trade system. If that flow is disrupted for long, food production costs rise, farm pressure grows, and grocery bills climb. A shipping disruption is never only about ships. It is about time, confidence, and substitution. If alternatives are weak, markets become nervous. If delays grow, prices rise. That is how one regional crisis becomes everyone's invoice. Yes, history shows that keeping the strait permanently closed is difficult. Navies can respond, escort, and deter. Markets can adapt over time, but full closure is not required to create a major shock. Delay is enough. fear is enough, reduced traffic is enough, even uncertainty alone can move billions of dollars and affect decisions across continents. So the real lesson is not only about one waterway, it is about dependence. The modern economy looks strong until one narrow corridor comes under pressure, then the hidden fragility becomes visible. That is the urgency. The longer the world depends too heavily on a few vulnerable routes, the more often these choke points will return as points of crisis. Geography does not disappear. It waits, and then reminds everyone who still depends on it. So remember the journey. A 21-mile waterway can influence oil, gas, shipping, fertilizers, inflation, and family budgets. Small on the map, enormous in consequence. If this opened your eyes, comment "Peace" to reach more people. Subscribe to join the few who seek truth. Share this with a friends who interested it. And remember this, history repeats when power ignores geography. The map stays quiet until it sends the bill.